question is, would there be a way to do the same problem using weird scores?
No, because both Z and T are based on standard deviations being known, and this is a test about standard deviations. So it's they don't, yeah. So I do need an entirely different distribution, yeah.
Number 8, could you explain that?
The Z-score one?
Yeah.
All right. So a Z-score tells you what?
How many standard deviations you are away from the mean?
She reads off the paper. Yes. So Z-score tells you how many standard deviations away from the mean. So way back when I told you standard deviation is kind of like figuring out how far the tick marks are going to be on your ruler. And then when you lay that ruler down, what you read off is the Z-score. It's how far away something is in that units you chose to use, which is the standard deviations. So if I give you a specific number, you just say that data point is 2.14 standard deviations away from the mean or above the mean, which would even be better. But I would take away from the mean, right? Well, above the mean just because it's positive, yeah. If it was negative, you say below the mean. I like it. So I know we've learned a lot of new things to use Z-scores for, but Z-scores themselves never tell you more than that. Using that, I can do all kinds of weird shit. With a chart, I can look up probabilities if it's normal. But the Z-score doesn't give you any areas by itself. It always just tells you the number of standard deviations away from me to do that. That's all it can tell you on its own. I like it. Yeah, beautiful. So number 10. How many samples are there in number 10? 2. So I'm going to need one of them big-ass Z-star formulas for this one, right?
Yes.
Yes, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
You just like to say big-ass. So, number 10. What's the claim that's being made in number 10?
That increased.
Yeah, it has increased. Let's see.
So what you say, like P1?
So let's first say whose population number 1 is the students from last year. So population 1 is last year's students. So 2 would be this year. Or this semester, whatever. Alright, I like it. So we have to establish that first. So if the claim is that it has increased, that would mean that this mean, if it's increased now, that would mean that this mean is, if it's increased from what it was,
Isn't it a percentage, not a mean?
I'm sorry. Thank you. So that would mean that this percentage, I was so stuck on making sure we got the thing in the right way. So this one's bigger, so what am I going to actually put here? Less than, good. So that is bigger than that, which means that is less than that. I like it. Cool. That will affect everything. If you put your tail on the wrong side, you're going to be getting a negative critical value and a positive Z-star. It's going to be weird. You got to make sure you get everything in the correct side. So call somebody 1, call somebody else 2, and then write the claim based on that choice you made. So which one is that going to be? Good. And how many tail tests?
1.
1 tail down there. I like it. Okay, good. So what do I need to check to see if I can use Z-scores? Yeah, I mean, you could do the P-bar thing. It's also acceptable to do NP1, NP2, and Q1 and Q2, do all those. And these are hats, by the way. So I don't know if you guys can see very quickly what those are. I don't know if you guys remember. You could just look at it. How many successes from the last year?
81.
81. So that would be this. This is last year's one, so that would be 81 successes from last year. So how many failures from last year?
A lot.
134, the rest. How about this year?
78.
78 successes, so 107 failures. All right, let me stop there for a second. Does everybody see where all those numbers came from?
Yes.
I mean, we talked about this kind of thing before. NP is just the number of successes, and on a lot of problems you can just see it. They tell you what the number of successes is. And then the NP will be the rest. And all of those are greater than 5, 11. So all are bigger than 5. Check.
And that's all we need to say, is that they're all greater than 5?
Yes, cool.
Okay.
That's all it's necessary. Just like saying n greater than 30. That's all you have to say for a test about means, right? Oh, you're right. Okay. So now that we know, we can use what? Z-scores. If one of these was less than 5, what would I do? If one of these was less than 5, what would you do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Good.
Try.
Good. Officially, you should do that. Now, if that happens to you, assume you made a mistake and just do it. I am not a teacher that would just put a problem that if you don't notice it, oh, you didn't have to do that problem. Oh my God, you could kick me wherever you like if I ever did that to you. So yes, assume you made a mistake. Don't just not do it, because I am not going to do that to you. Where you just have to notice, oh, I didn't have to. So good. I didn't want anybody to say T-scores. You never use T-scores with this. We're going to create our own population standard deviation, so we always know it. All right. So now the next step, of course, ejection region. Alpha was what now? 0.02. Ooh, I like it. Ask me had a good idea. And this is a one-tail test, right?
Yes.
So can you find the z-score? I'll give you a little hint. I don't blame you if, well, it's awesome. You're all, I don't know if you're doing this for the right reason. You can't use the t-score chart for this because the t-score chart does not show 0.02 one-tail. So you have to do this the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way. So 0.02's in there. Can you figure out this z-score? Well, let's see, what should it be? No. Let me see, I can't remember what this should be. I don't have any z-score charts. So what are you guys looking up to find this? I mean, you just have to look up 0.02, right? So what do you get when you look up 0.02? .02. Say again? Yeah, it sounds plausible. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. No, real quick. If this would have been 0.01, I don't know if you guys are to the point, you should be to the point where you know some of this stuff. That would have been 2.326. If it would have been 0.05, this would have been 1.645. So this answer makes sense because it's in between both of those, right? Okay. All right. So if z star is less than negative 2.05, reject the null, support the high. Cool. So you know I do this every now and again. I have to remind you that the t-score chart has gaps in its knowledge. It doesn't know everything, poor little dude. So sometimes you have to go back to the more detailed z-score chart. Okay, and then we look to see how far away we got. So what do I have to figure out to do that? Well, what is p hat 1 and what is p hat 2? Remember, the ones are from last year, so you just got to divide the numbers they give you. What do you guys get? By, I think, 215, yeah. So what do you guys get?
3767.
Cool. I like it. And if you want to use 3767, even better. Round it to at least, to most 3 places. Maybe you do more places than 3. That's fine. Just like standard deviation. What about p hat 2?
0.422.
Good. 0.422. What else do I need to figure out from this weird ass big z-score formula? Because it's going to be z star, p hat 1, p hat 2, square root, and we got these little p bar thingamajigs. Remember that? How do I get p bar?
You have to take the.
You have to get bar. P bar. You just put everybody into one big group. Right? Why do we have to be so
X,
time dependent?
sample mean plus sample mean over.
Well, the x, and yeah, it's just, and so add all your successes together. What would that be? Where am I at? 78 plus 81, right? So 159. 159 total successes out of how many total people? 400. Yes, sir.
P hat 1 and P hat 2. Where'd you get that from?
From the information they gave. So they said last year, 81 out of 215 students.
That's the percentage.
Yeah, you make it a percentage when you take that ratio.
Okay.
I like it. I was about to go off on a rant about, I don't know what they're doing in high school anymore about percentages, because less and less people seem to understand them. But I stopped myself. Yes? Okay. So what do you get for that? 398? 3975, yeah, you could use that. I like it. And now you just throw all that stuff in here. So it is, on one level, the thing with math is you got to realize all the work goes into creating these formulas. Once we have them, it does become a plug and chug. But math is not plug and chug. That's after all the math has been done. Then you do this plug and chug shit. This is not math. This is just putting numbers into something. That's not what math is. Math is creating this formula. So I think you should get negative 0.92, just to let you know. or something close to that. I think on my key I used 3975. I used the whole thing.
Can you write down real quick,
Plug in the numbers to the formula.
Yeah, I'll do it in the calculator so you can see how it
Thank you.
works. Oops, Jeff, you were where you wanted to be. Okay. Move your phone. All right. So let's see. We got top. So we got to tell it what the top is. Point 377 minus 0.422. So that's p hat 1 minus p hat 2 divided by square root. Of course, if you have an older calculator, just don't close that parenthesis that opens until you've got all this stuff in there. Let's see, 0.398 P bar. What's Q bar? 2, right? 6025. Yeah. But if I round that to 0.398, that's going to be 0.602. I like it. Divided by N1, which was, what was that? 215. Plus 0.398 divided by times 0.602 divided by 185, I think. So Q bar, Q bar over N1, and then plus Q bar over N2. That's the bottom there. All of it's inside that square root. Oh, you know, I keep forgetting. I think the math study, if you have one of these TI calculators, does anybody have their own TI calculator and it doesn't make the square root symbol bigger? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think the Math Study Center, I think they, don't hold me to this, I think they can update for you if you go in and talk to Kathleen in the office. They might be able to update your operating system on your TI, or at least show you how to do it, tell you how to do it. So negative 0.92. Cool. How do we do out there? We got that? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. P and Q at the bottom. Can you remind me where you find that? P hat.
So P bar?
Yes, Q bar.
Okay.
It is. Oh, I see. Times 1.
Oh, the Q bar, yeah, Q bar is going to be the rest. So P bar is 0.398, Q bar is the rest, 0.602.
so we failed over test?
Yeah, we failed that. We didn't even get a full step away. We failed so hard. Negative 0.92. We had to get more than 2 steps away. We didn't even get 1 step away. That's all we did today. I think was you failed. We failed every test. And getting it all out of our system before next week. That's what I say when I practice for basketball. I miss every shot. Get down those bricks out of my system. And that's never true. So, let's see. Yeah, cool. So we have failed. We have not found sufficient evidence. Which one was the claim? The high. So we have not found sufficient evidence to support the claim that last year's percentage or whatever it was is less than this year's. Or that this year's percentage has increased from last year. Either way you want to say it. How many of you guys have more than 2 finals on the same day? Like you have 3 finals on the same day? That's what more than 2 means, right? How many of you had? So all of you guys that had your hands up, you have like 3 finals on the same day? I'm sorry. Shit.
All mine are on Wednesday. Yours is the only one on Thursday. Yeah,
Well, there you go. You're welcome.
Online ones too.
All right. At least it's not like before. Who's been here for a while? Back when there was no time at all between final exams. It sucks so bad. One final went to 11:30, and the next one was supposed to start at 11:30, and I'm in here. I'm like, we're not done yet. We gotta get in here. Get out of here. It was terrible.
It's better than having a final like ending at 12 and your next one not starting until 6:05 p.m.
Oh, sorry. Especially if you live like really far away.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Nightfall. This time.
Go home, take a nap, and you're like 7. Shit.
I always am. But it's better back to back, I think, because get them all done in one
Yeah.
day.
Now it is when you have a 10-minute cushion.
Yeah, no.
But the whole rushing, I'm like trying to get my student, and then I'm like, I got another final. Rushing to the other side of campus, crazy.
Wish you had them in all in just one classroom. Like, that'd be so convenient for you. Just like one classroom.
That's right. It should be all about what's convenient for me.
Yeah.
The hell. All right. Anything else? You guys have. Oh, I forgot. That's right. All right. I was about to say, you guys. One thing that's kind of bad for you is it kind of sucks to have the finals so far away from the last day of class. So I didn't prepare shit. Let me see. There's so many things I wish I could have done that I'm just happy I got done what I did. But on Wednesday, see how there's nothing, I've got nothing planned for Wednesday? How many of you guys would be able to meet or would be interested in meeting on Wednesday to do like homework problems and stuff? Okay. There's no way I'm going to pick a time that works for all of you, more than likely.
Same time?
But if I came in from like 9 to 12,
That's nice.
because I prefer mornings for doing stuff.
Anytime before 5 p.m.
So Wednesday, 9 to 12, I'll tell you what, let me write that down. I'll find a room, and then when I send you the email, the scanned answer key, I'll tell you where it's going to be next Wednesday. Oh shit, I'm writing on somebody's thing. I should write on my own. What is happening?
Wait, no, I just have to hear what we have not found.
It's like, is that conversation ever going to end? The what? The what? The what?
Watch that be like the rest of your recording. Just like the what?
The what? You're not going to.
What?
That's what I think people should say as I write.
You should just
What? And then what? And then what?
You should just name this video what.
Yeah. Okay. It feels like it. I mean, if you guys have no more questions for right now, I got nothing else. Oh wait. There.
Did you need
The original, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I need the original. All right. So, guys, I got a question. If you want to see, if you don't want to, you can leave. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to take it personal. Question number 5, the one about
The 9% of Californians.
the dorky 9%. They're like, kids, there's too many of them in the first place. Alright. So, I mean, some of you guys know that one of the hardest things in any math class is to understand when to use which formula, right? So you have to be able to figure out what type of problem this is. So, you know, I would notice that 9% believe that it's not a priority, which means that 91% believe it is. There's two sides to that. I mean, you start to realize that's what you're looking for. If they give you a percentage and then they say, what's the probability that 7 out of 28 of them would, that's starting to be N, P, Q, X, that kind of problem. NPQ problem. A probability problem. So right next to your mu equals NP and sigma equals square root of NPQ on your formula sheet, you're going to have P of X equals N choose X. So when you say it's a NPQ problem, that's the little section on your formula sheet. You're like, I want the probability. Oh, it's P of X equals N choose X, that kind of thing. So does that formula sound familiar? What's N in this problem? Part A.
35.
35. What's P?
4.
No.
4 out of 35?
No.
What?
All right. I understand. All right. If 11% of Americans are left-handed, will that percentage change because I pick 20 people instead of 30 people?
Yes. No.
No, it will not. No, it can't. You can't pick, and then suddenly somewhere in America was, I'm right-handed now. You can't suddenly. No, there is a percentage that exists. So it shouldn't. You can't do 4 divided by 35 and have that mean anything. If they were all equally likely to do something, then there's a 4 out of 35 chance that I got the right person. That's not the question I'm asking at all, right? The percentage is 9%. There's no changing that. So what's N? 35. The percentage is 9%. The percentage success, because what am I considering a success here? That they think kids, screw them. Right?
So Q would be 91%.
Good. Q must be the rest.
Yeah.
So if this was asking if they are a priority, it would be the 91.
Yeah, it would have been reversed. Yeah, and success is what I'm looking for. So that doesn't mean happy. It just means what I'm looking for. Like I said before, if you're looking for a dead body, rabbit, squirrel, whatever. Right? And what's X? 4. 4. I want 4 successes. X is the number of successes. So now I've got everything I need to chuck into my formula.
Okay.
The probability of X is N choose X, P to the X, Q to the N minus X. So probably 4 successes will be 35 people. Choose 4 of them.
Oh.
So how many successes? 4. How many failures? The rest. I like it. And then you just have to remember how to plug that in. Where was the choose in the calculator? Math? Yeah. So here's how you put this in your calculator, right? 35. Math. Probability. Yours probably says PRB if you have the old one. Number 3, choose. So 35 choose 4.
0.09.
Yeah. Times 0.09 to the 4th. I got 4 of those. Times 0.91 to the 31. I got 31 of those. So overall I got my 35. 0.1846, which is hopefully what I wrote down on the key.
Not to confuse, but what's the difference between that and the binomial CDF, PDF?
Nothing.
Because I was doing the way behind, it gave me a different number, and I was like, I was looking at the answer key and it would say one number and it would work on binomial PDF, but it wouldn't work on CDF, and it wouldn't work for that.
It's impossible. So something must have been put together wrong in this. Yeah. Because so if you do binomial PDF. Oh, the problem. CDF is cumulative. It's going to add everything up to. PDF is particular. If you want exactly 4 successes, you got to use PDF.
184 point something. Okay.
Second. Oh,
versus the other one?
NPR. So NCR is how many different ways can I choose 3 people to go with me? So I wouldn't count you, and you different from you, and you. That's the same 3 people. And PR would count the orderings as different. So if I chose you, and then you, that's different from you, and then you. So NPR would always be a bigger number than NCR because it counts all the different orderings as a different thing. I like it. But we didn't get into that this semester. We could have, but we didn't.